welcome back to another episode of the Alternate History Podcast. I'm glad that you came back for another listen/watch. Today, we talk about the defining war of the 20th century, the one to make World War II become possible, the one that brought in the biggest ideological war in world history. That's right. Today, we talk about World War I. World War I was the war to reshape Europe for the good and sometimes the bad, depending on how you look at it. World War I started when Archduke Franz Ferdinand was shot, which was the successor to the Austrian throne, by a Serbian nationalist Gavrilo Princip. Following it was the June Crisis, and exactly 1 month later, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. Serbia is friends with Russia and Montenegro, so they joined in. In response, Germany joined Austria-Hungary's side in the war. Since Russia and France are allies, the Germans declared war on France before France can get the jump on them. Germany made the Schlieffen Plan, where they would go through Belgium to get through France because of France's marginal line on their border, which was impenetrable. And since the Russians fought with Japan earlier that century, Germany thought that the Russians would take a long time to mobilize on the western border. And they executed the plan. But once Germany invaded Belgium, Britain declared war on Germany for fighting a neutral country. Bulgaria and the Ottoman Empire also joined in on the Central Powers side. Throughout the war, Germany made some things to anger the USA, like sinking the ship of the Lusitania and the Zimmerman telegram asking if Mexico would join their side. They would give Mexico some of its lost land from the Mexican-American War, which we covered in the last episode, by the way. Go check it out. These actions made America mad and caused him to join the war in 1917. In the same year, Russia left the war with a big exit fee. America would join the help, would then help the Entente to victory and end the war 1 year later. So what if America didn't join the Entente? What if they joined the Central Powers?
It's because of me.
To make this happen, we have to change some things. First, Germany's actions. Germany had, at the time, anti-American ideals and secretly had plans to invade America. Okay, let's change something else. Two things. One, the Germans realized that unrestricted submarine warfare is not the way that shall use their navy. And two, let Mexico be and deal with their revolution going on at the time. Now let's change some American decisions. Here is the big one. Woodrow listens to German, Jewish, and Irish communities to join the war on the Central Powers side. The reason why these communities supported the Central Powers vary. The Germans are obvious why. Duh. The Jewish communities supported the Central Powers because Austria-Hungary is a safe haven for the ideology, while Russia is considered a dangerous place because of their actions. Which is kind of weird considering the Ottomans held the Holy Land and they had Muslim views. The Irish has supported the Central Powers because of their suppressed and British holdings. The 1916 Spring Uprising helped them a bit. With these factors, and America's mission to be number one, currently held by Britain, there is a high chance they join the Central Powers.
Barry is from another universe.
This has immediate changes, considering later in 1917, the Russians fall. And with another big country against the Entente, Britain and France would have to focus some troops in Canada, since America and Canada have a direct border. This would not take long considering almost all the important Canadian cities are near the border. After knocking Canada out of the war, supplies to the Entente would plummet. Since America is in the Central Powers, Spain would join the Entente because of the banana wars that the USA is currently in. During this time, Germany would have made advancements into France, and since America has Italian families of soldiers, there would be some mutinies and some rebellions. Basically, mutinies are defiant people in the war. After the rebels take out the Italians, they would leave the war if they had South Tyrol and Istria. Austria-Hungary would have to agree because Germany and the other Central Powers really want less people coming out and defeat them. By this time, Balkan resistance would have stopped. By this time, France and Britain are the only ones left because Japan would only join to get Germany's Pacific Islands, and France would be surrendering soon from lack of supplies. After France leaves the war, Britain would also surrender since there would not be much forces left. This would put the world in a Kaiserreich-like world. France becomes communist from the everlasting popularity. Austria-Hungary would not last long, considering its many ethnicities within its borders. Austria would have its regular borders in real life. Hungary would also have its regular borders in real life, plus Transylvania, which is the area bordering Hungary and Romania. The Russian Soviet Republic would also try to get back the Tsar's lands. America would also have the whole of Canada. All British and French colonies would get independence, but Australia and New Zealand will still hold strong to the British crown. India would get into a civil war since Gandhi and other Indians had different ways of controlling India. And that is going to be it for this episode, because I'm going to give you guys a chance to see a Kaiserreich World in Hearts of Iron 4 from a mod. Just switch the Russian Republic with a communist country and ignore Canada, because it becomes a little stretched out from a little here because it goes really far. I know I did that in the last episode, but that was just me just trying to make it more modern. And yeah. And also, I am sorry that this episode wasn't as long as last one. That the basically reason why is what I just said. So anyway, bye.